Welcome in to Kicking It with the Wolverines, man. I am so excited to be here and launch this fun project with you. I'm Alyssa Orange alongside Bentonville West soccer coach Kerry Castillo, and we are launching a podcast to follow your girls all season long. A weekly episode that is going to highlight your team, highlight your players, and then follow you along on this upcoming season.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this since we came up with this idea. Yeah, I just really love the idea of highlighting them and the things that they do and the accomplishments that they have. Yeah.
It's been fun kind of brainstorming with you about what this is going to look like. At the end of the day, when we share this with the audience, what do you hope they take away from it?
I hope they get a snapshot of really what our program is about at the heart of it. I tell this to our parents, every parent meeting. Number one objective is for your daughter to be a better version of herself when she leaves here than when she walked into this. And so I hope that everyone will see that journey.
It'll be a fun conversation again all season long. As long as they keep playing, we'll keep talking about them. And I'm excited to talk about to learn more about your team throughout the season and watch you guys. So it'll be a learning thing for me too. And I'm very excited for that. So let's hop right into it. Picking up where you guys left off last season. I know that the process basically started right away to build this 2026 team. Where are you at now from where you were then?
Oh my gosh, leaps and bounds, light years even. We started with, and as we previously discussed, just a very young team and a lot of new faces. But they just dove right in to the things that we were trying to get to the buy-in to. And their number one goal, and I have to speak to the leadership of our seniors. We just had several great senior classes, one after the other. But this one, their number one goal is to create a sisterhood. Mm-hmm. And so that was the overarching idea all year long. And with everything they do, that's the main idea and the narrative of the day. And they have done nothing but to live about that.
How have you seen them specifically cultivate that sisterhood leading up to the start of the season?
You're speaking with Makayla about the National Guard coming in, doing a few workouts with them. And I knew that this year was going to be special when the girls that had gone through the test, which was more than rigorous, and they could barely walk. But when their teammates' turn came, they jumped up and went through it again with them, even though they could barely move. I'm sure they were hating life the next day, but they sacrificed that, so that they could be right there in that space with them.
Do you feel that in the locker room, how close this team is?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In every environment, the training environment, on the sideline. You can see it on the field. Last night when we went to Solomon Springs, we took every player in the program, took the varsity, the junior varsity, and all the ninth graders. And we didn't have enough sideline space, but right behind us in the bleachers was everyone that didn't dress. And they screamed from the first whistle to the last whistle. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, you could feel that excitement for the season right around the corner. And I know that you also know, not just with the on-the-field training with them, but also, the weight room and all that stuff. But mentally, you talk about wanting them to be a better person when they leave the program after 4 years or however long you're here. How important is that to also pour into them on the mental side?
It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing to do. It's more important than any trophy or accomplishment. The win-loss record doesn't matter. That's the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
It's every day.
Yeah.
It is every standard that we have. Yeah. It's every conversation we have. We started today off. We won last night, but we left some things off the table. We thought, as far as really capturing the identity of the team we can be, and not to speak negatively of the way we played. We found a way to win, and we did that well. But we just wanted to push them more, right? And they were so open to that challenge and had such great feedback and accountability for themselves and how they could be better. And that was the narrative of the day, was next play. And that's what we left today with. And that's the challenge that they had for themselves really in the rest of the training sessions was, how can we be better today? How can we be better tomorrow for the games that are coming next?
Why do you believe that pouring into the mental side helps them on the physical side in the way that they perform on the field?
Resilience. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So many, it's no question, I guess, or or strange occurrence to hear the term mental health. And what we found in working with our team sports psychologists is that a lot of our girls still struggle with some of those aspects, even though they do feel more than valued at home and here in this environment. It's just tough. It's tough being a teenager right now. It's tough being a human being right now, and so for us to really put up or shut up when we say we want you to be a better version, we have to pour into them the skills and tools that will help make them a more resilient human being. And we give them the opportunity. It's like a laboratory, really, whether it's the weight room or the training fields. It doesn't matter. It's a laboratory for them to grow those tools and resilience within them, so that when they do leap here, they can be a more resilient adult. And hopefully we can begin to not dispel, but get rid of the mental health crisis that young people are going through right now. Heard so much about this lately from other sports scientists and sports psychologists that this is it's a worldwide thing, not just a nationwide thing in the United States. And so this is the part we could do, for the girls that we serve.
Yeah, crafting the entire athlete, the full athlete.
Holistically, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at it. What does this 2026 team look like?
They were so exciting to watch last night. I mean, I caught myself on just watching instead of, being an observer, a spectator, if you will, rather than coaching. There were so many things that I missed, and I had to keep snapping myself back, you've got to coach, because I wanted to just watch them play. Yeah. We've been looking so forward to this, but we're so dynamic. We're so very dynamic, and we have our best soccer is still way out in front of us. And we still have some girls that are in basketball that are going to jump right in and join our family and just make us even better than we are. And so, last night's game was just so exciting to watch, and it was so fulfilling because they have been so excited to get to the field.
So what did you learn about your team last
night? That it doesn't matter what's going on in the game or what the opponent throws at us, we're going to find a way. Yeah.
A lot of times in these preseason events, it's more about what you take away as a team as opposed to the result, right? Do you feel like this team has got to go to rhythm? Where do you feel like maybe, okay, this is solid, these are areas we still need to work on?
If anything, I think the thing that we maybe needed to work on, and they said this, not me, is that they want to communicate more, and they acknowledged that they were really nervous and that kept them quiet. But them being able to reflect on that and say, hey, we're going to do that. We're going to accomplish that. That's our next goal. That's huge. I mean, how much more coaching is there to do? And again, you got to point back to the time we've spent with them in building those mental skills and resilience. They came up with this goal for themselves. They reflected on that. This is not something we had to tell, right? And so, again, I go to, it doesn't matter what happens on the field or what the other team is doing, they found a way. And this is them finding a way forward.
We're going to have Makayla joining us on the show later on. That's a little bit of a teaser for you guys listening. But she talked about the senior class and how pivotal they were for her development. Now she's a sophomore. That senior class is gone. Who else has really stepped up, or do you see really being leaders on this team this season?
Oh my gosh. Can I say all of them?
You can.
Because they do. They all, we interviewed some players this week for our junior varsity captains, and to hear the same sentiments and the same heart posture coming from girls that are on the junior varsity than we do coming from the seniors that are our captains on the varsity, that's where you got a solidified chain of leadership from the bottom to the top. Yeah. And so they all, in some way, shape, or form, demonstrate not just our standards and our culture, but the way they lead and the way that fits into our culture and helps shape it.
So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone kind of has an idea of what their role is to contribute to the overall success of the program and the team.
Absolutely. That's actually a conversation we had way back in the fall. Yeah. Is what strengths do you have? What is your role on this team? And what is your value? And they shared what they think one another's value is empower each other to step into those the leadership role that they have. And that's part of, we have those these 4 core standards that we say every day: get there first, be your best, be accountable, and cheer for each other. And that's part of being accountable is every day when I show up, I'm going to be responsible for me and for leading my teammates.
It's good when it's going well. It's better when there's adversity and you feel like your team is ready to face any kind of adversity that might come at them in 24
Oh, absolutely. And we will. I mean, we'll play in the best conference in the state, and I know they're ready mentally and more than ready emotionally. The time we need to develop as a team and really find our rhythm on the field will come.
No.
I'm not even worried about that because our main piece is there.
Sure. I know we don't want to dwell on the past, but you got to look back. Losing the semifinals to seasons ago. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, especially who it was against, right, in Bentonville. Learning from that moment and the girls learning from that moment who are back here now. What was the biggest takeaway in that game and how 2025 ended?
They knew they could win. We'd beaten them previously this last season by the same score. And, not to make excuses, but we'd played 2 games in 2 days previous, to having to play that 3rd game in 3 days. And they were gassed. And so, again, not to make excuses, Bentonville's a good team and they won a state championship. Hats off to them. But it made them hungry because they want another shot, and they want a shot when their legs are ready.
And sometimes you have to look in the mirror at what happened, how you learn from it, get better.
Yeah,
so I'm sure there's a lot of motivation.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that was the first thing I did. Maybe even that night, like, where did I fail these girls? So.
Speaking of you, as the season gets about to start, what do you do as a coach every year to kind of get yourself ready for this next opportunity?
Oh, that's a good question. No one ever asked that. I give myself a day before I really start a really rigorous process. I spend the spring developing a reading list for the summer. And then the day after our last game, I'll look at that reading list and start chipping away at it as to where my gaps are. Where are my personal gaps? As a person first, and then as a coach. And whatever texts don't align with that, then they go. And I sift through and I finally come up with usually a list of 7 or 8 books or workshops, things that I want to do to better myself so that I can be a better version of me when I come back in the fall and the girls come in and we start up again.
I love that. What were some reading material you had? Can you share that?
I can, yes. Oh gosh, I may need my list. The Power of Moments. That was probably the most impactful book I read all summer. Yeah, rather than the Bible. Yeah, that's got to be the one. Outliers was another really good one. I don't know if you're familiar with. Yeah, Outliers, and then Talking to Strangers. Yeah, and it's those 3. When I put those 3 together and the lessons that I learned from that, it really made me question: how am I forming relationships with my players? Am I really doing that at a depth that's going to allow me to pour into them adequately? So yeah.
Yeah, you talk about takeaways and you share maybe one of the biggest ones. It's mentioned the relationship sake, but anything else on the reading?
That every day is an opportunity. Every day is going to give me an opportunity to leave them with something they remember, whether it's good or bad. And so I better bring my A game. And if I'm, again, my say-do gap, if I say I'm going to make you a better version of yourself, then I dang well better do it every single day. And so the Power of Moments really left me with that and how people remember things and what makes a memorable moment. And the science to back that, not to nerd out on you.
No,
but the science behind that shows that when you learn something about yourself and you overcome something and something attached to you emotionally about a moment, that's what you remember. And whatever it is about that moment that shaped you, you'll take that with you. And so I'm like, wow, what am I really doing? To leave them with a positive impact, not just a good memory, but positive impact.
Yeah. Core memories happen for a reason. Hey, speaking of opportunity and looking ahead, season starts next week. Let's go. Who's excited?
Oh my gosh. I just got nervous. Oh my gosh. I got goosebumps. No, but nervous in a good way. I'm like excited nervous. Yeah. We play Rogers here on Tuesday. First home conference game, first home game From varsity, yeah. And I mentioned that today, and they went crazy. So they're looking forward to it.
What are you most looking forward to specifically with the games upcoming this week that you can use to help me building blocks for the rest of the season?
For them to just play with absolute freedom. Yeah, just freedom in knowing that if they make a mistake, it doesn't matter. And also to see them just turn themselves loose. We've seen them be so creative in training, and we want to see that come to life on the field. You know, when you're a little nervous or you doubt yourself a little bit, that can hinder that creativity. We want to see them turn it loose. Yeah.
Well, remind everybody who you're playing next week.
We'll play Rogers Heritage on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we play Rogers High.
There you go.
Yeah, so 2 conference games, and then next weekend we host the Northwest Arkansas Invitational. So we'll play 3 teams from Oklahoma here. Yeah, it's going to be over 20 college coaches on Bentonville West campus. 4 teams from Arkansas and 4 from Oklahoma. So it's going to be a weekend full of soccer and a lot of really good competition.
That's going to be really fun, and excited to talk about that in next week's episode that is coming up. And again, we're going to be doing this every week throughout the regular season, and so excited to continue to learn and follow your team. Coming up after this, we've got Makayla joining us, and you're lucky. I don't throw soccer trivia questions at you, but all season long we're going to be throwing some soccer trivia questions at the players.
Pretty good.
We did. We practiced on you. You were pretty good. But we're going to put the girls to the real test, and that's coming up after this. Welcome back to Kicking It with the Wolverines, and we are excited to have sophomore forward Makayla Sullivan joining us. Makayla, welcome. Excited to talk to you as our first player guest.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. So let's look back at last season. Talk to me about your freshman year and how you really implemented yourself into the rotation and made a name for yourself as a freshman.
It was like exciting, but also nerve-wracking being like a freshman and being on varsity and like getting that starting spot, and then just being able to play with the team and the girls. But it was really fun and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, as a freshman coming in, did you expect to be on varsity, or did that kind of come as a surprise for you?
I wasn't really sure, but like the girls kept telling me that I was gonna be like a good player. So
yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, obviously, if you're starting on a varsity team as a freshman, you're a good player. Take me back to when you started playing soccer.
I think I was probably 3 years old, and I was playing rec just for fun. And I remember our coaches used to ask us who was like the fastest thing on the field, and then my teammates would always say like the ball, but no, not the ball, me. And then I'd be like the one saying the ball, and it was just very
yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Speed at that young age will always set you apart. What was it about the game that you love so much?
Probably running. I love to run.
Okay.
And my friends.
There you go. And so running and friends, and you throw a ball in there, and ta-da, you have soccer. That's how that works. You know, when you look at how much you were able to contribute as a freshman, you were named the newcomer of the year by the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You led the team with 18 goals. You had 4 assists. Looking back, how fun was that freshman season for you?
It was so fun. Our seniors were like probably the best part of it, because it made the environment just so good that like it felt like a sisterhood, like our sweatshirt. And it was just so fun to be a part of the team and like do what we did last year.
Yeah. So how have you grown this off season, and what do you hope your sophomore season looks like?
This summer I trained a lot because I wanted to get more technical, so I trained at least an hour every day in the summer. And my goal this season is to like be able to be more technical and like dribble around players, because I would kind of like make moves around them, because I would used to like just dribble around, and like I want to like pass the ball more and stuff.
Work on the footwork and the technical side of the game. Absolutely. I love that. You also got to do some team bonding stuff over the summer. And I've seen some videos of you guys going through some National Guard training. Talk to me through that. What was that like?
That was, whenever we saw them here, it was very scary, because the workouts are very hard.
Yeah.
And we did a plank one, and Mia, this one girl on our team, she held her plank for like 9 minutes. It was crazy. And so like it was just impressive to see like all the girls competing against each other, and like just that aspect.
That is crazy impressive. How do you think those kind of activities have helped get you guys to become such a close-knit unit as the season gets going?
I think it makes us like closer as a team, and it makes us like be able to push each other and like be able to cheer each other on. It teaches us to cheer each other on throughout the season.
What do you enjoy most about being out there with your teammates on the soccer pitch?
Just the competitive side. I love like competing with my friends and being able to like push each other to our best.
Your goals, individual goals. You said you're working on some technical stuff. Goals that you have for yourself this season and for the team. What do those look like?
I really want to win state this year, and then I want to try beating my record about how many goals I scored.
Okay.
And then I want to also get more assists this year.
Okay. Well, we'll have a Makayla goal tracker here on our podcast, Kicking It with the with the Wolverines, and we'll make sure that we keep track for you. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. I love it. Speaking of keeping track, so we're going to do something fun with all of the players. We're going to have some soccer trivia. How do you feel about your soccer knowledge?
Not very.
Okay, that's totally all right. That is totally okay. You might surprise yourself. I've got 5 questions for you. Here are the rules. I have 5 questions. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. I'll ask your teammates 5 questions throughout the year. None of them are the same, so you can't go tell your teammates the answers to the questions. You have no idea what I'm going to ask you, and we'll keep tally and see who has the most right answers at the end of the year. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Number 1, how many panels are there on a traditional soccer ball?
13.
32. So 13, about half of the soccer ball. That's okay. What year were the soccer rules solidified? So the rules of the game of soccer, when did they become official?
1986.
Wow. 1863. That's okay. We've got 3 more to get on the board. Here we go. According to the official FIFA rulebook, how long can a goalkeeper hold the ball?
8 seconds.
6 seconds. It's okay. It's okay. How many teams participated in the Women's World Cup?
15.
32.
I should have known that.
That's okay. So, okay, here we go. Last one. I got total faith in you, Makayla. You ready? Who was the first English player to win league titles in 4 countries? English player.
Miss.
David Beckham. Yeah, David. Do you know who David Beckham is? Oh, no. Man, I was really hoping. Do you know who the Spice Girls are?
I've heard of them.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we're at least making progress there. Okay. You know what, Makayla? That's totally okay because soccer trivia is for fun. You're going to be playing soccer for real, and I know that you're going to have a phenomenal year. And so thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
And before we go today on Kicking It with the Wolverines, we have a special award for Makayla. So, Coach, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, absolutely. Makayla, you took 7 shots last night, scored 1 goal, right? But you're going to score so many more this year. We have nothing but faith in you, right? But something new this year is that El Pueblito, one of our community sponsors, is going to award a Player of a Game gift card. So, on behalf of El Pueblito and Lady Wolverines soccer team, congratulations. There you go.
Thank you.
Free food at El Pueblo. That's win-win.
There we go. Don't schedule it all at one trip there. Congratulations, Makayla.
Thank you.
Coach, a successful first episode.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was nothing but fun. I mean, even if it was at Makayla's expense part of the time.
That's okay. We're just here for the fun, right? Thank you so much, for joining us on Kicking It with the Wolverines, and we'll see you next week.